The air in the house that evening felt thick, heavy with unspoken anxieties. I, being the resident know-it-all with a freshly minted pre-med under my belt, had stumbled upon my sister's little secret, her clandestine pharmacy run, her hushed phone calls with shady online suppliers. It wasn't difficult to piece together the obsessive video watching, the furtive research on Angelman syndrome, and then the discovery of a suspicious bottle of, well, let's just say it wasn't vitamins. It was a medication, one with potential side effects, and certainly not something to be taken lightly, let alone without a prescription, and with the frankly insane intention of trying to conceive a child with a genetic disorder. My blood ran cold. This wasn't a harmless fascination anymore. This was a deliberate, reckless act, driven by a warped sense of aesthetics. It was like someone deciding they loved a rare tropical disease so much they wanted to cultivate it in their own backyard. I confronted her, of course. The conversation was tense. Imagine trying to reason with someone who's convinced they've found the secret to ultimate beauty in a medical anomaly. Her eyes, usually bright and full of life, were glazed over with a disturbing mix of fanaticism and defensiveness. She accused me of being narrow-minded, of not understanding true beauty. She talked about the serenity in their smiles, the unburdened joy in their eyes. It was like she'd constructed this elaborate fantasy world around a genetic condition, completely divorced from the realities of developmental delays and intellectual disabilities. I tried to explain the science, the potential challenges, the sheer irresponsibility of intentionally trying to alter the genetic makeup of your child. I laid out the facts, the medical risks, the ethical implications. It was like talking to a wall painted with cherubic Engelmann-afflicted faces. My arguments, grounded in logic and a basic understanding of human biology, just bounced off her delusion like pebbles off a tank. She had convinced herself that this was the path to some kind of higher aesthetic plane, that she was somehow enlightened in her bizarre desire. I pleaded, I reasoned, I even tried to appeal to her sense of maternal responsibility, the idea that a child deserves the best possible start in life, free from deliberately induced medical conditions. But it was no use. The obsession had taken root too deep, twisting her perception of reality into something unrecognizable. The memory of that argument still makes my stomach clench, the futility of it, the sheer, terrifying conviction in her eyes. I knew with a sinking feeling that I had failed. The wheels were in motion, and my frantic attempts to derail her delusional plan had been utterly, devastatingly unsuccessful. The consequences, I feared, would be far more profound and tragic than either of us could possibly imagine in that heated, futile exchange.